Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, children. Inshallah, you are all doing well and you are all enjoying these wonderful short stories from the Holy Quran. I'm sure you are. Today, I am going to tell you a story of Prophet Zakiriya and his very, very special prayer that he made. You see, sometimes we may want something and it may seem impossible, but we must pray to Allah because nothing is impossible for Allah. Everything is possible, and if He wishes, He can easily give it to you and He can make it happen. So today I am going to tell you the story of the prayer of Zakiriya and his prayer, which he thought might be impossible to happen. Allah answered his prayers and He gave him exactly what he wanted. So, are you ready to hear today's story? Okay, let's begin. A long time ago, there lived a prophet of Allah. His name was Prophet Zakiriya. Allah loved him for he was pious. All the community loved him too because he was a wise and just man. Prophet Zakiriya was loved by both Allah and by the people. He was a very, very respectful man. At that time, a little girl called Maryam, or some may call Mary, mother of Jesus, was given in the service of Allah. Prophet Zakiriya became her guardian. He often visited Maryam's room, and guess what he used to see? He noticed that there was always fresh food and fresh water with her. Prophet Zakiriya was quite surprised and he asked Maryam, "Maryam, from where did you get all this food?" He knew that they did not have this sort of food and drink at home, so he was surprised when he saw Maryam with all this. Do you think that was a prayer from God? "It is from Allah," she answered. "Allah gives in plenty to anyone He wishes." And it was Maryam's simple words that went straight to the heart of Prophet Zakiriya. And he may have thought Maryam's faith in Allah is really strong. Allah gives in plenty to whom He wishes, and I am an old man, and my wife is old, and I don't have a son. You see, Prophet Zakiriya didn't have a son. So he thought, let me pray to Allah to give me a son. Prophet Zakiriya prayed to Allah for a son. He said these words, he said, "I am old, my bones are weak, and my hair has turned grey. You have always heard my prayer, Allah." And guess what? Allah heard his prayer, and He said, "Zakiriya, we bring you good news of a son whose name will be Yahya." Prophet Zakiriya asked Allah, "But I'm an old man, and my wife is also old. How can we have a little baby son?" Allah answered, "It is easy for me. You too were made by me from nothing." Prophet Zakiriya could not believe it. Was this really true? Was Allah going to give him a son? We have some texts which say that Prophet Zakiriya was over 100 years old. That's very old. How can a man and a woman who are very old have a child? So he said to Allah, "Allah, give me a sign. Give me a sign to make sure it's you." He wanted to make sure that it is really Allah with that is giving him a son with a sign. Allah said, "This is the sign I give you. You will be completely well, but for 3 days I will take away your speech, and you will not be able to say a word." Prophet Zakiriya was very happy because this was a sign from God. He came out of the shrine. He could not speak, but through signs he told the people to pray to Allah. He would only nod his head or his eyes or do some facial expressions to talk to the people. He could not speak. But he was happy because he knew Allah was going to answer his prayers and give him a son. When a son was born to old Zakiriya, he was named Yahya. Allah loved Yahya. He gave Yahya wisdom and made him one of his prophets. So Yahya was also a prophet of God. Allah loves the believers. He loves people who trust him. He listens to their prayers and he helps them in wonderful, wonderful, wonderful ways. If he wishes, he gives people things which might even seem completely impossible. So if there is something in your life, you watching now, if there's something in your life which you want, or something which you want to happen, let's say, just pray to Allah. No one needs to be there, just you and Allah. Even if it's in your bed or in your heart, pray to Allah for everything that you want and need. And Allah answers the prayers of the believers. If He believes this is a good thing for you and it will help you, then He will give it to you, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's story of Prophet Zakiriya and his very special prayer to Allah. And I hope this teaches us all that Allah hears, He listens, He gives, and He responds. You can find the story in Surah number 3, verses 35 to 43. That's Surah number 3, verses 35 to 43 if you want to read up on this. Inshallah, join me again another day with another story from the Holy Quran. I hope you enjoyed today's story of Prophet Zakiriya and his very special prayer. And if someone asks you, do you know who Prophet Zakiriya is? Say, yes, I know. And if they ask you what was his special prayer, you could tell them he wanted a son and he prayed to Allah. And although he was very old and his wife was very old, Allah gave him a son. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope tonight we can go home in our beds and we pray to Allah with all our heart for everything we want, because Allah listens to you and He will give you, okay? So inshallah, join me tomorrow with another story. Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.